Have you ever thought about the official story of your life? I mean, the one written down in documents, the one that proves you exist. We're talking birth, marriage, death, all of it. Today, we're going to dive into why these records matter so much more than you probably think. Seriously, just take a second and think about that. What if you had no birth certificate, no official ID? How would you get into school? Open a bank account? How could you ever prove your own age, or that you're even a citizen of your own country? For hundreds of millions of people, this isn't just some thought experiment, it's their reality. And this is not a small issue, not by a long shot. The United Nations Economic Commission for Africa put it bluntly, calling it the single most critical failure of development over the past 30 years. Wow. I mean, think about it. When we don't count people, we can't plan for them. And the ripple effects of that are just massive. This brings us to a really powerful idea: being legally invisible. It's exactly what it sounds like. For a huge number of people, especially in many African nations, the state has no official record they even exist. And if you're invisible on paper, you're denied access to the most fundamental services and protections that so many of us just take for granted. Okay, to really get the impact here, let's make it personal. Let's follow the journey of a couple and see how getting registered shapes their entire lives. You know, I remember when our first child was born. Getting that birth certificate, it felt like his official welcome to the world.
Oh, totally. And it wasn't just some piece of paper, was it? It felt like we were handing him the key to his whole future.
And she is absolutely right. That one document is the foundation for everything. First, it's proof of who you are and where you belong. Then, it's the ticket to get into school. And from there, it opens up access to all kinds of government services. It literally unlocks a person's future. And that official story just keeps getting written throughout our lives. I mean, think about when we got married. Registering it was about protecting us, you know? It gave us legal standing as a family. Exactly. And it's hard to talk about, but the death certificate is just as important. It's not for you, really. It's for the family you leave behind. It helps them settle everything, collect insurance. It avoids turning a tragedy into a legal nightmare. It's about providing security even when you're gone. So, every single one of these personal records, a birth, a marriage, a death, it does so much more than protect one person or one family. Each record is like a single brick, and when you put them all together, they build a picture for officials. They show where we need to build schools, how to properly fund hospitals, and what our communities actually need to thrive. All right, so let's zoom out. Let's go from that single brick to the whole building. From one person's story to the story of an entire nation. Take a look at this. It all starts small. A baby is born, and that event gets registered locally. But then, that little piece of information flows into a regional and then a national system. It's no longer just one family's happy news. It becomes a vital piece of a much bigger puzzle. And that big puzzle has a name: vital statistics. It sounds kind of official and boring, but it's not. It's the lifeblood of a country. It's the data on births, deaths, marriages, all the big stuff. This is how a government knows if its population is growing, if it's getting older, and what kinds of services its people are going to need 5, 10, even 50 years from now. And this isn't just about one country's planning. This stuff is critical on a global scale. Think about the world's sustainable development goals. Big things like ending poverty and improving healthcare. Well, get this, a whopping 67 of the indicators used to track our progress depend directly on having good vital statistics. Without this data, we're basically flying blind. And having this data literally saves lives. Here's a perfect example. When a country knows what people are dying from, it can fight back. If the data shows a big spike in heart disease, the government knows to pour money into heart health programs. If there's a rise in infant mortality, they can invest in better care for mothers and newborns. It's simple, it's direct, and it works. Okay, so let's tie this all together. What is the big takeaway here? It really boils down to 3 simple but incredibly powerful things. First, it's about your rights. It's your legal identity. Second, it's about your opportunities, the doors it opens to education and a better life. And third, it's about your country's future. It's the data that allows for smarter planning and better services for absolutely everyone. In the end, it all starts with one person, one moment, and one single document. That's the first chapter. And it leaves us with a really important question to think about. What is it going to take to make sure that every single person on this planet gets to have their story written?